we ought to be careful with actually manipulated videos that, this was actually manipulated. I think that should be legal, and it should have just been flagged as parody, and he was wrong not to indicate that in the first place. He subsequently acknowledged that it was parody. If it's labeled as such, I think that's a different matter. I don't want to invite new bureaucrats to swoop in and write new regulations saying that what people are doing on social media is illegal. I think that could have First Amendment ramifications, but I understand why Dems were upset about it, and it should just be labeled as parody, consistent with Twitter's own rules going forward, is what I would say.
Yeah, young people on X will see something like this and immediately within seconds be able to identify it's fake. That's not just because we're living in the internet. The internet raised us in some way, but it's also because our eyesight's a little bit better. We can see when the thing glitches. I have family members that need their glasses and hold the phone like this. They can't tell when it's fake all of the time. Their hearing's not as good. There are a lot of people who are of the age where they cannot identify if something is a deep fake or not, and these people are voters, and they can be manipulated by this. That's why it's a problem. I think that it makes sense that if it's AI and it's parody and it's fake, it's labeled as such. I don't think you need to label like skits and satire as parody.
Right, you make skits.
I don't want to have to, you don't want to tell someone you're making a joke, right? It ruins the joke. And so if it's AI, it makes sense. But if it's human actors, that's fine.
Yeah. I just think we ought to be very careful. AI is going to be a very innovative tool that could make all of our lives a lot better and easier, automatically generating scripts or emails and it's going to make communication jobs easier. I think the last thing we want to do is invite the current Congress with its aging members who don't understand tech in the least bit to come in and write some law that outright criminalizes expression in this category. Again, I think that might not stand up to First Amendment scrutiny anyway. So, and the idea that you're right that older people are more easily tricked by this kind of thing. People get, some small number of people get tricked. Actually, social science research shows us that not a lot of people are fooled by outright made up stuff on social media. It's a small number of people. That's going to always be the case, no matter what system you design. People are more media literate or social media literate than ever before in human history, and we have the democracy we have. So you can't. If your operating standpoint is, if there's anyone online who's going to be fooled, the whole system doesn't work, you're never going to be satisfied.
There's this viral take that I think really encapsulates how I feel about AI. And it was that, why are we using AI to do creative work, to write stories and make pictures, while we do our dishes and laundry and toil away and do the boring stuff and do our taxes? AI should be doing the boring administrative stuff we don't want to do so we can make art and enjoy life. But then there's also the side of things where I saw a post recently that was making a similar point, but it was in reference to an article where AI was used to detect breast cancer at a very early stage. And so AI can be used for good, it can be used for evil. It's like what that whistleblower at Cambridge Analytica said of big data, that it's like a knife. You can use it to make a sandwich, you can use it to kill someone. It's all about how you use it. The thing itself isn't bad. And I don't trust people like Blumenthal who asked Zuckerberg, do you commit to ending Finsta? As if this was like a subscription service.
He didn't know what it was. He did not know what it was.
It's people making parody accounts of themselves that they only allow their friends to follow. It's just a separate private account in addition to your public one. It's not a service they offer, and so these are the people that are going to regulate AI. I think I'm happy John Ossoff is in the Senate. I'm happy younger people are getting elected to Congress because I do not trust our oldest members to tackle this issue.
I also don't really think it's the government's job to protect you from your own stupidity. Like if you're getting tricked by stuff, that's on you on some level.
And some of it's funny. I've shown Robby a lot of ones of Joe Biden that I find hilarious. It sounds like his voice. It barely sounds like it's his mouth moving, but it's him saying ridiculous things. I think it's fun, and I think our political process can be grueling, and people want some comedic relief, but to use your own website to push this is just yucky.
But I mean, like, the thing we talked about earlier today that what Kamala Harris's campaign put out about JD Vance, being weird, and it's not like altered, but it's cut in a way, it's edited in a way that's unfavorable to him. Like, that's okay, but this is not okay. Do you know what I mean? It starts to get into, I think, a very great, it's artistic expression.